Hello and welcome to this edition of Understanding Your Health. My name is Todd Scarborough. My counterpart today, Tom Butler, is gone on me, but I do have a very special guest, and I'm honored to have Dr. Roger Kendall here today with me via phone. Couldn't have him in studio, but it's going to be great to interview Dr. Kendall today. Dr. Kendall has worked for 25 years in the field of nutritional research and product development in the health industry. He also holds a PhD in organic chemistry from Penn State University and holds 7 U.S. patents, 2 European patents, and also is considered the leading expert in the biochemistry and therapeutic effects and application of a product called DMG, dimethylglycine. Dr. Kendall, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, and certainly after reading your book on DMG, I'm just absolutely mystified at this compound. It's almost a panacea to some degree. Tell us a little bit about, I know you've been researching DMG for 25 years now and working with DMG. What specifically is dimethylglycine?
Well, let's understand. Yeah, it's an amino acid, and it's natural to the body. It's produced in the body. It's found in low levels in certain kinds of foods that we might eat, and it's also available in supplemental form. But dimethylglycine is not essential because because of the fact that it's not a vitamin, but it's important and essential because it improves how the body functions, particularly in terms of well-being, of immune system, and a lot of other areas. But to begin with, the story of dimethylglycine sort of begins with back in the 60s, where back when the Soviets and other European researchers introduced a compound, a product called calcium pangamate. Now, calcium pangamate is a product where they took dimethylglycine and combined it and bound it to gluconic acid, and they made a molecule, and they called it pangamic acid. And they promoted this particular substance as an enhancer, and particularly in the sports area. And what happened was that there was patents issued and a lot of research on this, and then it got introduced to the United States, and they began to call it vitamin B15. And back in the 70s, it came to the attention of one of the founder of Food Science Corporation, Don Morlandi, and he began to be able to look into this pangamate and found that actually what they were selling was a combination of dimethylglycine and gluconic acid. But what he found was he discovered that the research, particularly as far as athletic performance, he tried it in horses, equine, at the racing, and he found that he could turn faders into winners. In other words, he found that it was great for endurance, for stamina, reducing lactic acid, and this really sparked his interest back in the 70s, and then he founded the company and began to introduce the product into the health field. And what happened then was that they really thought perhaps that it was a vitamin, but it turned out it was not. I joined the company back in the late 70s and began to research it and found that no, it's not a vitamin, but it's important because it basically promotes how the body functions at a very high level. And the key thing here is that dimethylglycine is a natural substance which can promote physical and mental performance. It can impact the athlete very much so because of its ability to promote endurance and muscle recovery. But there's a whole wide range of things that dimethylglycine can do. But it's a natural substance. It's used by the body as a metabolic enhancer, and that term came up through Dr. Jerzy Meduski, MD at the Medical University of Southern California. He came and coined that, saying that it's an adaptogen. In other words, it basically helps the body to overcome stress, and that's an important thing to look at it. So it's an anti-stress nutrient. It's a performance nutrient. You can call it an energizer. It basically promotes wellness. As I point out in my book, there's so many different areas that DMG can benefit the body. dealing with a number of conditions, health conditions, everything from cardiovascular to the immune system to even cancer. So it's a very, very diverse nutrient in its ability to promote optimum functioning of the cell, and I think that's what we can look at this. It is like adding a fuel additive to gasoline, or being able a catalyst, and it basically enables the body to work at a higher efficiency and more effectively in how it burns its fuel as it carries out its various operations within the body.
And that's the thing that I noticed as well, Doc. The analogy that I came up with as well is a fuel additive. That was the analogy that I seem to come up with as well here. So we're going to take a break here and step away for a break. Doc, hang with us. And when I come back, we want to talk a little bit about how calcium pangamate got its B15 label, and then go a little further into methylation, other things that happen in the body from DMG. Hang on, folks. We'll take a break. Be back with Dr. Roger Kendall when we return.